Tuned in to Mr. Dexter Harris. Like, subscribe, share. For that good ish, I'm back at you. This truth frequency wouldn't let me go. So y'all might well come on in the room and join me. We finna talk about whether or not Antarctica is an ice wall or a landmass. That's what we need to talk about. Y'all come on in the room. Come on in the room. There's room in this room. Come on in this room. We need to talk about it. Stick around for it. Yeah. Now I know a lot of folk might not like that. That's okay. I'm not here to be liked. I'm here for the truth. Y'all come on with me. If you're trying to get this truth, come on in the building. I'm trying to get this truth. Yeah, that's what we talking about today. That there right there, what you see in your face. That right there, what you see in your face. We're going to go on and pick it up. Because I was looking at a conference. Folks ain't said nothing about this map. But I say something about it. I say something about it. I say something about it. Because ain't nobody raised the question or not. Whether or not Antarctica is ice or land. Huh? Some say they got evidence for ice. Others say they got evidence for land. I'm showing a piece of evidence. Yup. 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 Might well come on in the building with me. I know it's Thanksgiving. I know y'all probably full. Don't want to hit them buttons on them phones, on them computers, on them pads, them pads. I just need to know is Antarctica land or ice? Cause I got a piece of evidence right here in your face, a receipt from a man named Urbano Monte, Urbano Monte, of 1585. I think his latest rendition of this map you see was 1587. Now, some folks ask flat earthers, do they have a model? I don't have a model, I got an image. I got an image. You see that? You see that? I hope you see that. This is Urbano Monte's map. Urbano, U-R-B-A-N-O, Monte, M-O-N-T-E. Map of 1585 in the building. Pushing on 500 years old. It's over 400 years old map. If you buy this common narrative of history. But when you study that map, go on and put it in your Google and pull it up and all that. Look at the map so you can go in on it close and all that so you can do it. But I just want to show you the image of what you're looking for when you type in Urbano Monte map of 1585 or 1587, which are the ones. Got two renditions of it. But the question is there an ice wall in the region known as Antarctica? Or is it like what this map presents? There's land down there, and that the ice we may see may just be because it's mountainous regions, just like most mountainous regions have ice on it or snow. Or is it something about the edge of these land masses that are electromagnetic that causes the weather to be very cold and things of that nature for a particular region, and then it kind of warms up as you get further and further in what you can see there as those land masses that makes an outer ring. Now that usually is the place where most folks say there is a ice wall But we can see clearly here on this map, this is a piece of evidence. I'm not saying it's an exhaustive piece, but it is one piece of evidence that were presented to us that possibly we could be told that Antarctica is ice wall, just to pull our legs, that we won't be able to think or consider the fact that there are some very serious resources down there in these lands of this ring you see here on this Urbano mining map. Now, my friend, this is very serious business for you and I to consider. Most folks try to say, you know, flat earthers don't have a motto. No need a motto. We got an image. We got an image. Because that's all what most globe earthers have, is images. They ain't got no motto. They got images of a motto. They don't have no motto. Images. Just stuff for us to see and for us to think that what we see that's presented by someone else is the truth. So that's why we got to deal with this question today. Is Antarctica ice or land? Do we really know? That's the discussion, so come on in here. Let's see what it's about. Let's get it going. Because that's what time it is. I know they put the algorithm on that anytime flat earth come up, they don't want nobody to get no hits on it. I know, I get it, I understand. But this truth still got to be dealt with, even if I have to talk to it by myself. Yeah, I could get in all the marketing and getting folk in all that, you know, kind of stuff, hashtagging and all that, but hey, man. I just want the record to reflect in the flat earth community that somebody's asking this question, whether or not Antarctica is or not ice. Now, I've never been the one to run with what's all popular. That popular culture ain't for me. Because wherever the herd is running, that is where the controllers want us. So if everybody talking about ice wall, ice wall, ice wall, that might be where those who are dictating the narrative might want us to talk about ice wall instead of a land ring of continents. A ring of ice is one thing, but when you're talking about a ring of land, that's another, my friend. So, come on in here with me, because I am chopping it up all by one man. It's just all it takes is one man to get the truth out. Tesla was one man. Huh? One man by himself for the most part. Yeah, he got other folk involved once he needed folk, but all the revelation came through one man. And sometimes, my friend, don't you get discouraged. Don't worry about whether or not if it's just you sounding the truth. It be like that. That's the nature of the truth game. Nobody wants you to hear the truth. So truthers' job is to tell it no matter what time or season. We tell it in season and out of season. It don't make no difference. We are not compelled by popular culture. We are compelled by the frequency of vibration of truth. So that's what I'm doing today, Truth Game. I know a lot of y'all home and chilling, probably doing a lot of family things, but you can see what I'm on. Truth Game. I woke up with it. Truth Game. Truth Game. So I invite you to join me on this here truth hunt. Question we asking today is Antarctica ice wall or landmass? Have we been sold and told it's an ice wall for ulterior reasons? Have we been sold and told it was an ice wall because they want to put all your imagination of exploring on ice. You out there with me? Come on, join me, man. I know y'all hear this good music. Talking about whether or not Antarctica is an ice wall or not, because see, when I look at the UN, when I look at the UN, you know what they say, the UN symbol is, and that the so-called things that look like leaves on the outside is the ice wall. But could that be what we're being sold, my friend? Huh? Could they be selling to us? Because they really don't want us out there. So they're going to give us this sublime known as the United Nations symbol. They give us this subliminal that the only place that is inhabitable is within the known continents, and that the leaves or the reef that surrounds the UN symbol, it's symbolic of ice. And so my challenge here is today with you, my friend, is whether or not that's true. Truth game. Because when you consider that the UN started in 1948, and this symbolism has a lot of obscured history behind it. However, in 1585, what was the ulterior motive for this man, Mr. Urbano Monti, to go out and to come up and create this projection of what he saw as he went out and carted out the lands and the oceans of the earth? Yes, my friend, we have to consider these things. We can't just swallow what we've been given and then they give us a couple of images. Give us a couple of images like the UN symbol to tell us that there's ice out there. And then to back that up subliminally, they'll start showing you only certain regions where only certain folk can go take pictures, and then say that this is Antarctica. Can you give me GPS readings of those pictures, ma'am? Can you give me GPS readings of those pictures, sir? Of those so-called tall ice wall places? You know, I've seen some images where they had helicopters on top of the ice wall just to show you the scale of how big the wall of ice is. Hey, I'm not arguing that, but you're trying to sell to me that is a 360-degree reality, like the UN is trying to sell me. But when Mr. Urbano Monti made his projection and gave us an image of this here plane known as the Earth, he gave us land masses. He did not give us no ice. So the question keeps and has to rise, is Antarctica ice or land? Some might say, well, it's both. Well, okay. If it's both, I'm talking about the land, because we've been sold the ice. Well, what about the land then? If it's an ice ring on top of a land ring, then okay, now what's all up under that then? Okay, we talking now. Does the ice melt? Does it stay frozen year-round? Is it seasonal ice? You understand what I'm going through? Because the UN gave us an image, and the internet reinforces it with images from so-called Antarctica. Now, will somebody be able to release images of Antarctica that were not supposed ice? Well, I think that will be considered research, and you got to be a part of the Antarctic Treaty to do that kind of research, to be able to take a picture beyond any place they tell you to take a picture. But Urbano Monte, yes, my friend, Mr. Urbano Monte, U-R-B-A-N-O, Mr. Urbano Monte, he gave us a different image. And this image he gave us is not of ice, but he gave us an image of land masses, my friend. So could it be the so-called Antarctic Treaty that the experimentation might not be what we traditionally consider as experimentation, but it could be that the experiment is that we go try to interact with those beings that live on these land masses, and that if you don't go through one of these Antarctic Treaty countries, or I should say companies, then you cannot enter into the borders of these land masses known as Antarctica. Just want to ask the question, because you know, hey, whatever's popular or popular, that's where the herd goes. And the herd has been herded to believe that there is a ice ring around the potential flat plane known as flat Earth. And so we often say the UN, the symbol of the UN is a flat Earth model, a flat Earth image, and you see the reefs around is representative of the ice. Well, you can take that. I know the UN started in 1948, but Mr. Urbano, U-R-B-A-N-O, Monte, M-O-N-T-E, he gave us an image of land masses, not ice. His presentation was in 1585. The UN started in 1948. Come on, my friend, we're talking about almost 400 years, 500 going on of disparity. Who you gonna believe? You gonna believe a younger projector, or you gonna believe somebody who was projecting back in, I believe, a time where people really wanted to know what the earth looked like, and they honestly gave us representations and depictions of what we believe now the earth to be. Yup. Is it ice or land? Antarctica. That's the question. All right. That's what we're dropping down in your ears and eyes today. We're gonna give you something to really have a good Thanksgiving on today. Let you, when you fall asleep from eating all that good meal, you can really have an image to go with your dreams today. And if you're a truther or a flat earther who tries to continue to find out the reality of this place, I just ask you to join me into thinking on whether or not Antarctica is ice or land, my friend. Ice or land? Ice or land? I don't know, my friend. The more and more I dig and do research, land makes more sense to me. Yeah, not an ice ring, but a land ring. How about that? How about continents bigger than Africa? How about that? Yeah, continents bigger than South America. How about that? Bigger than China. How about that? Land ring. Is Antarctica ice or land? Do we really know? I don't know. I'm just going off some bits of evidence. Bits of evidence. And it is for the investigator to come up with a conclusion whether or not you're going to believe. Like Urbano Monte projected in 1585, that there is an ice wall. No, there is a land ring. It wasn't until 1948 when the United Nations came up with their symbolism about what the earth looked like, and they came up with coral reefs, I guess, to represent an ice ring. Is it ice or land? Is it land covered with ice? Come on, do we really know? Do we really know? Let's change this vibration. Let's change this frequency. Come on and just go with me. Because we really don't know, my friend. Yeah. We don't really know. We don't really know. So we put on our thinking hats. And we get to researching. And we see what popular cultures give us, stuff like what the UN gives us, but then we get to researching. And when you value your time enough to say, I'm going to take at least 30 minutes to do some research on one topic, you might come up with something like this here. A map that's different from stuff you ever seen, my friend. So I'm asking you to join me in this quest in finding out the truth. Whether or not that Antarctica is or not ice or land. You got some proof? Show me some. Yeah. Is it that? Land mass? Land ring? Or is it ice ring? Land ring or ice ring? You have to be the judge for yourself. Land ring or ice ring? Come on, put your thinker on. Take a couple of minutes with me out of a day or something. Just hit a Google search or something with me. Land ring or ice ring? That's the question, man. That's the question. Ladies and gentlemen. Huh? Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Yup. So, you know, just giving you the questions. Just giving you the question. I don't know if I had an answer for you, my friend. Never did say I did. I just got a bit, just a bit of information. So, that'll do it, man. Come on and like, share, subscribe. Hey, whatever you're going to do it. But we try to provide that good-ish over here on Mr. Dexter Harris television. Yeah, that's the question. Is Antarctica ice or land? Do we really know? Does NASA really know? Do the Antarctic Treaty countries really know? Because I really don't know, but I am sure gonna try to find out. Yup. I ain't scared to do that. Pose the question. Yeah. I'm glad y'all was able to tune in, man. We're gonna get out of here on this one. Like, share, subscribe. Mr. Dexter Harris. Peace.